Did you know that the samurai were not originally warriors, but rather tax collectors? Yes, you heard that right. Our journey takes us back to the Heian period, spanning from 794 to 1185, a time when the samurai were more likely to be found carrying ledgers than swords. The term samurai was not initially synonymous with the image of an armored warrior we so commonly associate it with today. Instead, the samurai were bureaucrats, tasked with collecting taxes and managing the land. They were the local government officials, serving the aristocracy, who were more interested in culture and arts than in mundane administrative tasks. The samurai, therefore, were the bridge between the common folk and the ruling elite. They were responsible for ensuring that taxes were collected and the land was managed efficiently. Their role was crucial in maintaining the social and economic order of the time. But how did these tax-collecting bureaucrats evolve into the legendary warriors we know them as today? It was a gradual process, influenced by changes in political structure, power dynamics, and the increasing need for military prowess. With the decline of central authority during the Heian period, local aristocrats had to take up arms to protect their lands and interests. The samurai, originally administrators, found themselves transitioning into a military role. This shift did not happen overnight. It was a slow evolution, spanning several centuries. As their military role became more pronounced, the samurai began to develop a unique culture and identity, centered around martial skills, discipline, and a strong sense of duty. This laid the groundwork for the samurai's transformation into the iconic warriors we recognize today. So the samurai started their journey not on the battlefield, but in the world of bureaucracy. Their story is a testament to the dynamic nature of history, where roles shift, identities evolve, and nothing remains static. It's a reminder that even the most unexpected origins can lead to legendary outcomes. From tax collectors to feared warriors, the transformation of the samurai was a fascinating turn of events. The samurai initially served as bureaucrats in the Heian period, collecting taxes and managing public lands. But as Japan's political landscape shifted towards feudalism, the samurai found themselves in a unique position. Feudal Japan was a time of constant conflict and territorial disputes. As a result, the need for protection and enforcement surged. The samurai, already established figures of authority, were ideally suited to fill this role. Their transition into warriors was not overnight, but rather a gradual process, driven by necessity and shaped by the turbulent times. They began to train in martial arts, honing their skills, and ultimately becoming formidable fighters. Their reputation grew, and they became known not just as administrators, but as the elite warrior class of feudal Japan. Thus, the samurai morphed into the warriors we know today. The samurai lived by a strict moral code, much like the knights of Europe. This code, known as Bushido, was not written or formally regulated, yet it was deeply ingrained in the samurai culture and guided their actions both in life and on the battlefield. Bushido, loosely translated, means the way of the warrior. It is a complex system of beliefs that was developed over centuries, heavily influenced by Confucianism, Buddhism, and Shintoism. At the heart of Bushido are 7 key virtues: rectitude, courage, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. Rectitude, or justice, was the strongest virtue, commanding the samurai to make correct decisions regardless of personal feelings. Courage was not mindless bravery, but the ability to do what's right, even in the face of fear. Benevolence and respect guided the samurai to act with kindness and politeness. Honesty and honor were about being truthful and maintaining a good reputation. Lastly, loyalty meant unwavering allegiance to one's master. These virtues were not just ideals, but a way of life. The samurai trained to embody these principles in every aspect of their existence, from their martial arts to their tea ceremonies. It was about more than just being a good warrior. It was about being a good person. On the battlefield, Bushido dictated the samurai's conduct. They were expected to face their enemies head-on, to never show fear, and to prefer an honorable death over a life of disgrace. It was this adherence to Bushido that made the samurai such formidable opponents and revered figures in Japanese history. But Bushido was not all about warfare. It also emphasized the importance of learning and cultural pursuits. Samurai were expected to be well-educated and to appreciate the arts. They were warriors, yes, but they were also poets, artists, and scholars. Bushido was more than a code. It was a philosophy, a way of life that shaped every aspect of the samurai's existence. Even today, its influence can be seen in the values and customs of Japanese society. In essence, the Bushido Code was the soul of the samurai. Contrary to popular belief, not all samurai were men. In fact, there existed a class of female warriors known as onabugisha, who were as fierce and respected as their male counterparts. These women were trained in the same martial arts, held the same responsibilities, and adhered to the same code of honor as the male samurai. Onabugisha were not just wives, sisters, or daughters of samurai, but they were warriors in their own right. They held a crucial role in protecting their homes and families during times of war, especially when the men were away on the battlefield. Armed with a naginata, a long pole weapon, the onabugisha were a force to be reckoned with. So while the image of a samurai warrior is often male, we must remember the onabugisha who stood shoulder to shoulder with them, defending their homes and honor with the same courage and dedication. Indeed, the samurai were not a male-only domain. The samurai are legendary for their swords, but did you know they didn't always carry the famous katana? Indeed, the evolution of the samurai's blade is as dynamic as the warriors themselves. The sword's journey begins with the tachi, a long curved sword worn with the blade facing down. The tachi was the samurai's primary weapon during the Heian period, from the late 8th to late 12th centuries. This was a time when battles were typically fought on horseback, and the tachi's design was perfect for delivering a swift downward strike. But as the art of war evolved, so did the samurai's sword. With the onset of the Kamakura period in the late 12th century, the samurai began to fight more on foot than on horseback. This shift in battle tactics called for a change in weaponry. Enter the katana. The katana, shorter and with a sharper curve than the tachi, was worn with the blade facing up. This new orientation allowed the samurai to draw the sword and strike in one swift, fluid motion. The katana became not just a weapon, but an extension of the samurai himself. But the samurai's sword was more than just a tool of war. It was a symbol of the samurai's honor and status. The process of crafting each sword was a spiritual journey, led by a master swordsmith. The resulting blade was a work of art, each one unique and imbued with the spirit of its creator. The samurai treated their swords with the same respect and devotion they gave to their martial arts training. To lose one's sword was to lose one's honor, and to wield a sword was to uphold the values of courage, respect, and loyalty that defined the samurai's way of life. The samurai's sword, a symbol of honor, a tool of war, and a work of art. The katana remains one of the most iconic symbols of the samurai, representing their strength, their discipline, and their unwavering dedication to the warrior's path. Samurai armor was not just about protection, it was a status symbol. Each piece was meticulously designed, reflecting the warrior's status, personality, and personal beliefs. The helmet, or kabuto, often bore family crests or symbolic motifs, offering a glimpse into the samurai's lineage and ideology. The body armor, known as the do, was crafted from small metal plates tied together with lacquered leather or silk cords, providing flexibility and ease of movement. This was essential for the samurai, who had to be as agile as they were strong. The armor also displayed a samurai's wealth. High-ranking samurai sported armor adorned with gold and intricate designs, while lower-ranking samurai wore simpler, more practical armor. But it wasn't all about show. Every element of the armor was designed with a purpose, from the neck guards that protected against decapitation to the armored sleeves that doubled as shields. Samurai armor, a perfect blend of functionality and aesthetics. The samurai era didn't end with a bang, but with a slow fade into history. A significant part of this quiet departure was due to the Meiji Restoration, a revolution that swept through Japan in the late 19th century. The Meiji Emperor, eager to modernize Japan and consolidate his power, initiated a series of reforms that fundamentally changed the nation's social structure. The samurai class, once the backbone of Japanese society, found themselves in a precarious position. The new government abolished the samurai's right to be the only armed force in Japan, a privilege they had enjoyed for centuries. Their stipends were replaced by government bonds, leaving many in financial ruin. The samurai's status as a distinct class was eliminated. Their swords, once symbols of power and respect, were banned from public spaces. But it wasn't just political changes that led to the end of the samurai era. The rapid modernization of Japan and the influx of Western ideas and technology made the samurai's traditional way of life obsolete. The samurai's martial skills were no longer as valuable in a society that was industrializing and looking towards the future. The final blow came when a national conscription was implemented, creating a modern Western-style army. This new army, open to all social classes, left no room for the samurai's unique role in the military. Thus, the sun set on the era of the samurai. But as we'll see, the legacy of these warriors lives on, in ways that might surprise you. Despite their history, the spirit of the samurai lives on in modern Japan. While the era of the samurai ended centuries ago, their influence permeates every facet of contemporary Japanese society. This is most evident in the enduring respect for the principles of Bushido, the samurai's code of honor, which continues to shape Japan's cultural and societal norms. Respect, integrity, and loyalty, central tenets of Bushido, are still highly valued in Japanese society. They're seen in the meticulousness of Japanese craftsmanship, the dedication to mastering one's profession, and the high regard for elders and authority. These values are not relics of the past, but living, breathing aspects of Japanese life. Samurai martial arts, too, have survived the test of time. Kendo, Kyudo, and Judo, all rooted in samurai warfare, are practiced by thousands across Japan and the world, not just as sports, but as spiritual disciplines. Even in Japanese pop culture, the samurai are far from forgotten. They're immortalized in countless films, anime, and manga, their tales of bravery and honor captivating new generations of audiences. The samurai lifestyle has also found its way into modern-day mindfulness practices. The concept of zanshin, or remaining mind, a state of relaxed alertness that samurai strived for, is now a key principle in meditation and stress management. The samurai may be gone, but their legacy lives on. Their values, their martial arts, their tales of heroism, all continue to inspire and shape Japan and the world beyond. Let's take a quick journey back through the history of the samurai. These legendary figures were not always the formidable warriors we think of today. Initially, they were simply tax collectors and land administrators in the 8th century. It was only as political unrest grew that they evolved into the military nobility, known for their martial prowess. Their transformation into warriors was guided by the Bushido Code, a moral compass that dictated their conduct. It emphasized virtues like loyalty, self-discipline, and respect. This code didn't just apply to men. Women, too, were part of the samurai class. Known as onabugeisha, these women warriors were trained in the same martial arts and lived by the same codes as their male counterparts. Now, when we think of samurai, we often picture those iconic swords. These were more than just weapons. They were an extension of the samurai's soul. Each sword was meticulously crafted, embodying the spirit of the samurai. And it wasn't just the swords that were masterpieces. The samurai armor, designed for mobility and protection, was an intricate work of art, showcasing the samurai's status and personality. The era of the samurai came to an end in the late 19th century, during the Meiji Restoration. But their legacy didn't end there. Today, the influence of the samurai can be seen in various aspects of Japanese culture, from martial arts to cinema, from literature to philosophy. So who were the samurai? They were tax collectors, warriors, men, women, artisans, and philosophers. They were guided by a code that emphasized honor, respect, and loyalty. They wielded swords that were a testament to their spirit and wore armor that reflected their status. Even though their era has ended, the samurai continue to inspire us with their rich history and enduring legacy. From tax collectors to warriors, from men to women, from swords to armor, the samurai have left a mark on history that continues to resonate today. That's our journey through the fascinating world of the samurai. This incredible chapter of history is filled with tales of valor, honor, and a way of life that has left an indelible mark on the world. We've traversed the origins, the evolution, the code, the weaponry, and the legacy of these legendary warriors. Each fact, each detail, is a thread in the rich tapestry of the samurai. We hope that this exploration has sparked curiosity and a desire to delve even deeper into this captivating subject. Feel free to express your thoughts, share your insights, or pose questions. Let's keep the conversation going. And if you've enjoyed this journey, why not join us on the next one? Hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest historical deep dives. Until next time, keep exploring the pages of history.